About 5 months ago, I did a video on this table. I'll put a link to it in the description below. For those of you who haven't seen it, let me give it a quick go. It goes from 3 foot approximately to 4 foot. Now, since that video, I've had a number of requests for plans, even kits. I think a kit is out of the question because I live in China. I'll give you the reasons why at the end of the video. Then I thought, well, maybe I can look at getting some plans drawn up or instructions and what have you. Before I did that, I wanted to do a little exercise to see how much these parts cost in the US. See what you guys might be getting into. So next we'll start looking at the cost of the parts. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail where all these components go. I did that on my first video, so if you want to see that, you can go to it. Like I said, I'll have a link to it in the description. On my right is all the components I bought off shelf. Left here is all the custom components I had made. The arm and the lifting plate belongs in that pile. So what I did is I got online and found, like I said, found everything except for the extrusions. Couldn't find those on any website, but I was able to find every other component. You know, I've lived in China 10 years now, and I forgot how much you guys pay for things over there, or pay for this kind of stuff. Shocking. It was amazed me. In the US, like I said, I found every part. They're on this list, and I'll put it at the end of the video so you can double check the prices if you like. Maybe you can find better prices. But in the US, all the components bought off shelf was $400 or $407.64. Now, all these components, the same components that I bought here in China, was $86.24. There's a total of 100 parts and 12 different parts. The custom made parts, there's a total of 84 parts, 11 different parts. I had one of my suppliers here in China quote all the custom parts as a kit. You know, say it's going to take 32 of these, 8 of these, what have you. And they came in at $400. In the US, maybe $800. This is what I do for a living. I sell stampings, forgings, machine parts, castings, what have you, to my customers back in the US. I've been doing it for about 25 years, so I have a decent idea what cost would be. 800 would be, in the US, would be it'd be tough. These are all considered one-offs. Now, if we were building thousands of kits, I would invest in some tooling, some hard tooling, and you could drastically reduce that 400, probably down to 150, 200. But you'd have to be building thousands of them, and I don't think we will. So if you're looking at supplying plans, and you guys supply all the parts, now you got to remember, this is not including the extrusions, any of the fasteners, or the plywood. So at $407 for all the online components, and then possibly $800 to get the custom parts made. You know, $1,207. Even at my $400 price, with the $86 in the components, you're at $486. In the plans, you'd still need to find the fasteners or supply the fasteners, get all the plywood, find a source for the extrusions. We could probably improvise and use something different. I would just have to look into it. Now the kit cost. I said earlier I didn't think a kit was a good option. For me to supply a kit, I'd have to add back in to my cost the extrusions and the fasteners. Freight's the biggest issue. Air freight's really not an option at this time. There's going to be quite a bit of weight. I haven't done a weight estimate yet, but air freight, you're probably looking at $500–600. Now, ocean freight, I could probably piggyback on one of my customers' container, but I'd still have to pay something to him because I'm taking up space and weight in his container. And then when it hits the U.S., all of a sudden we're going to be subject to a 20 to 25% tariff. Before all that, I'd have to build a plywood crate. I'd have to pay someone over there to distribute it. Then I need to add a few dollars for myself. There's a lot of work involved putting all this together. Quite a bit to do. As a kit, I'd be every bit of $1,100–1,200, which in my opinion, both options are pretty expensive. So, but I wanted to do this before I go out there and start selling plans. It's not fair to you guys to buy a set of plans for $50 and all of a sudden you find out that I got to get $1,400 worth of stuff. Nah. So if you have any questions, please leave a comment. I will answer all your comments. Thanks for watching. I hope we've learned something. Thanks.